Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, stopping by, choosing to join me as I share these messages, these downloads, these revelations, these clues with you all. Okay, I'll be looking away here and there because, like I said, the channel has been on. Can't shut off the faucet. All right, I can't shut off the faucet, so I might as well document things and picking up where I left off, trying to remember where I left off. I'm just going to get into it. So let's just get into it. I hope everybody is doing fine wherever it is you are out there. Okay, so let's tie up the domino talk, because I think there's still something there to be said, because we still have one domino standing here. And I'm just going to allow spirit to flow. I have some things written down, but let me see what the spirit has to say concerning the dominoes, okay? Something could be strongly relevant to the letter D. I think I'll start there because I wrote D down and then my son interrupted me and we spoke about something. And then I couldn't remember what I was trying to write down. And it was the word domino. It finally came back to me. Okay, so I circled the D because there's something relevant about that letter. So someone's name could start with a D, or something very significant could start with a D. Okay, also I'm taking a look at the domino, and this might come off a little bit morbid, but again, I have to respect the channel and what's flowing at the time. All right, try my best to use wisdom as I describe what it is that is coming to mind. Okay, so I'm going to show the domino briefly and allow you to see what you want to see, and then I'll say what I see. Okay, I don't want to influence your vision, your perception, your observation. You could take a second or 3 seconds, 5 seconds, since 5 is always floating in the air, to just look at it. And what's the first thing that comes to mind? Okay, so. And I'm like, that is so odd. Not that I didn't notice it when I found the domino, but I didn't really pay it any mind. Okay, but to me, it looks like a stain, like a bee stain, a big B-L-O-O-D stain, possibly a fingerprint. I don't know why I want to say plant again, but a fingerprint. So that's suggestive of DNA evidence. Prints were found on a scene or something. Okay, again, insinuations, mind ramblings, not pointing any fingers here. All right, so I want to turn it around, and it's funny because I'm looking at my hands now, and the thing on the back clearly is transferable, because now my hand has black ink on it, marker, and it's looking like somebody's getting fingerprinted. Because isn't it like a black stamp book where you press the finger on? So black ink, okay, fingerprints here. Something is smudged as well, where I just smudged something because I don't like, something's transferable. Next, I'm like, what's that letter? It's not a full circle. I'll let you look at it first before I say. Okay, turn it this way. But the reason why I'm like, okay, upside down or this way, okay, because if you flip it this way, I don't know, whatever comes to your mind. But let me tell you what comes to my mind. And I keep smudging. Let me stop touching this. All right, stop touching gives me don't touch a crime scene, like don't get your prints on the scene. Okay, so that might be relevant as well. If you're new here, everything I say that comes out the channel might be relevant to something, okay, significant to someone somewhere out there. But I don't want to waste time with the preliminaries. That's giving me courtroom, okay? That's giving me, what do you call that? Opening argument. That's what comes to mind here. Also closing argument, because it could either be a C or O. First I thought it was an O, but I'm like, no, there's a split there. There's a tiny little opening, and that gives C. Okay, so C might be relevant here, or an O, a CO. These could be initials of people involved also. I don't know if you could see it, but what I see there is an I-N. So I'm like, first oin didn't really mean anything to me, but sin does. It's not an S, so maybe we're not speaking of transgressions or anything like that. Maybe this is someone's name, the shortening of someone's name, like Cynthia. Okay, so that might be relevant to somebody somewhere out there. All right, but this is definitely given like a bloody print, a bloody fingerprint. The number 9, judgment. Okay, so this is bound to happen, maybe because of sin. Okay, even if it's not spelled right. So maybe somebody doesn't spell words correctly. Okay, I know something like that came out in the last reading, but I'm not going to go too deeply into that. Okay, but something is off here, misspelled. Somebody wrote something down that just doesn't make sense. It wasn't worded correctly. Okay, and that's going to be the death of them. Okay, this is why blood is being spilled, shed, because there's also something relevant about red. All right, not only did I write a lot in red today, but I was told to put back on the same red padded bra. And that's unusual, but whatever. I follow the spirit here. And I'm like, there's obviously more to say about bra. So padded, something might be padded, somebody might get padded down. Okay, somebody might be puffed up. Spirit, haughty spirit, pride. Okay, something might be hidden in the bra, like I was trying to insinuate in my story that I shared in the past few videos. Okay, red again symbolizes emergency. This is a state of emergency. Okay, and it might end up in some bloodshed. Okay, looking at, okay, no, is there anything else to say about dominoes? So just to close up dominoes, because I think that there's a build-up that's about to get wrapped up. Okay, like a domino game is about to end. We're going to see who is the last domino standing, the last domino player standing. So this gives me cutthroat vibes if it's only going to be one. That's a confirmation. 2 burps. Okay, burp starts with a B. B might be relevant here. Because like I said, every little thing is relevant. So you could put letters together, see what comes to mind if anything is spelled out. Okay, because we have the build up here. Build up, B, because build is looking at me, and I know in one of the things cards something was removed and was built. The house that wisdom built, folly destroyed, but the built wasn't there. Okay, and that was a mistake. That was a grave mistake. Okay, that the building was removed, that it wasn't there. Okay, that might be relevant as well. So the last domino standing in a game of cutthroat dominoes. Okay, for me, I like to play partners. Okay, if we're going to play cutthroat, I like if people play fair. Let us know that we're playing cutthroat. But if you're going to sneak attack with the cutthroat, when I find out the game is not being played fair, again, that could lead to hostility. So going back to the game at a funeral, Jamaica, that's where I envisioned most of the domino playing occurring. Things could get rowdy, especially if you're under the influence. I think I mentioned that. One bad play causes the whole game. And a bad play occurs usually when people are under the influence. When you're at a funeral, rum is being passed. Okay? The rum is white rum. Ray and nephew. I'm not really a drinker anymore, but even when I did, that wasn't my liquor of choice. Rum was never my liquor of choice. But in Jamaica, and under the circumstances of a funeral, I believe in the Bible, in Proverbs 31, it talks about the occasions where, you know, it's almost expected, permitted to have a drink. You know, you're somber, filled with sorrow at the end of life, someone's life. So I am not trying to judge anyone here who drinks, who has their little drink here and there. Okay, that's not what I'm doing. Just please listen to what's being said. So yeah, you drink white rum, never Bacardi though. It's always Ray and nephew, white rum. Okay, but when you're not sober-minded, You cannot see where this play goes wrong. Who makes the wrong play? Who made that wrong move? When did it happen? You know, can we backtrack here, or is the game rigged, too rigged to where we cannot continue, and now we have to again basically sabotage this game, this round, and start again. Okay, so it's best to know who you're playing with, what are the ground rules, the terms of play. That's why every game comes with a manual, you know, an instruction manual to let people know how to play the game. And then masters build on that foundation. The instructions are the foundation, and masters build on that to become highly exceptional, proficient players. All right, but not everybody, like I said, should be sitting at the domino table when it's a serious tournament, because then everyone on the board is at risk to lose, okay, where the game just going awry. Is that all, Spirit, for domino? I feel like there's still more, but I don't want to spend this entire video talking about a domino or rum or funerals, but obviously it's significant here. Also, masters are significant. You want to be a master player. You cannot put up a novice with a master player. That doesn't make the game enjoyable as well. So no, again, players and positions matter, okay? The opponent, they have to at least be on your level of play. Otherwise, the game is not being played fair, okay? And with me sharing that I play dominoes with my children who are younger than me, automatically it's not fair. The skill level, it's not matching. And I know this. So I know that we're just playing for fun, playing for enjoyment. It can never be serious. It can never be serious because I'm aware of the disadvantages that my children... I don't want to talk about dominoes anymore. But I hope you get the point. I hope you get the point. And I hope I said enough about dominoes. Dominoes are collapsing here because of somebody's bad play. Wrong move. They're under the influence of some kind of rum, maybe. Okay, something about this judgment and the red looking thing. That's not by chance. All right, sin on the back there. This big O or big C. Someone's name could start with a C. Someone's name could start with an O. Or B. What I have here on my page, looking at first, because there's lots here. When I was taking a walk today, because it's such a beautiful day, and I'm happy. I love October, and my birthday is almost here, and it's just creeping up on me. So something's gonna creep up on somebody. All right, B-Day might be relevant as well. But as I was saying, I was taking a quick walk, and two things stood out. First, a pile of poop on the path, on the sidewalk. And I'm like, wow, I had to, you know, maneuver that, navigate accordingly, move circumspect, because I don't want to step in any ish. Okay, so that might be relevant to the story here. Okay, a pile of ish on a path, put a pile of ish on someone's path. Okay, or somebody is a POS on the wrong path. Okay, I couldn't walk there, so it was the wrong way to walk, the wrong path. Where should I go next? So we have the build-up. I'm just giving you a glance here. We have the build-up. I'll tell you what's in red. The build-up, swarm of ladybugs is next after pile of ish on path. That's the next thing that stood out. There are so many ladybugs out here, like a swarm. A swarm. They're swarming the walls on my balcony because I tried to go outside when I returned, and I'm like, no, I can't even sit out here because they started attacking me. And they're everywhere. I'm looking at them right now. They're everywhere. So ladybugs might be relevant here. I don't have my other phone close by to pull up any spiritual significance about ladybugs, but they're here swarming. Okay, they're here in droves, so that might be relevant as well. So that's in red. And then we have grand finale in red. Then we have freedom in red. Visitation in red. Fire alarm came on at 3:45 p.m. And at the time I was listening to Mirror on the Wall by Lil Wayne. And at that exact moment where the fire alarm went off, he mentioned MVP. Okay, so most valuable player. Okay, something relevant about Mirror on the Wall, or something could be found, some clues could be found within that song. Again, I can't pull up the lyrics right now because I don't have my phone. Next in red, we had, I have got a call because my son called me. He wasn't here, but I guess when he was trying to get into the building, he couldn't because there was 8 fire trucks on site. So that might be relevant to the number 8 fire trucks. There has been lots coming out about fire. Okay, so fire alarm, fire trucks, somebody getting a call, they can't access the building. Remember, built was removed. Okay, so that word is essential in this story. Okay, over on the side I have counting in brackets, and it made me remember that the paper that I picked up on the side to cover some information had counting, colors, and 3 words, something like that. I couldn't remember the word counting, but now it came back to mind. So something again is counting. And then when I look back over 3, 4, 5 p.m., the fire alarm went down. Again, that's indicating that there's a countdown to whatever combustible situation this is. Okay, next we have, they put a hit on David. Okay, David, we know who David is. David is a king, okay, powerful king. David is also a servant of God, one of God's favorite servants. The Lord said, David is a man after my own heart, okay, something to that effect. Just paraphrasing everything here. Okay, so David is blessed and favored, a chosen one, if we want to, you know, talk in that language. Okay, so this rung the alarm, possibly in heaven. Okay, possibly got some heavenly attention here. There has to be some intervention, interception of this play, because any wise person, any smart person, anyone with common sense would know not to target a chosen one. So I think that is what is going on in this whole situation that seems very urgent. Okay, and then I have in quotation, give it a moment, I said to my son, things are locked now. Okay, the alarm eventually stopped around 3:53, and the music stopped playing at that same time, which my phone was plugged in. It lit up and it said 99% charged battery. So somebody's getting really charged up. Okay, something is about to get stopped. Some fire alarm is about to go off. Lock now. Somebody could be getting locked up. Okay, just give it a moment. Okay, because this hit was a big faux pas. Talking about faux pas, the red bra, especially underneath white, this white little tank thingy here I'm wearing, would be considered a faux pas. Okay, red under white, going back to something channeled about red and white. I don't even want to go there, but that's just coming to mind now. If you're following, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So red under white, faux pas. But I'm no fashionista, so who am I to talk about this? So fashion could be involved here. Okay, somebody may not be a fashionista, or somebody may be a fashionista. Okay, but this would be a wrong move, and I don't even know that much about fashion, but I know that this is not cool. This is not cool. I would possibly prefer black underneath this white cotton tank. Okay, so all that might be relevant to something here. Where else am I? So after the fire alarm stopped, the music stopped playing. 99% charge. There's a 9 again. 9, 9. The music stopped. So something's going to stop some show, okay? There's going to be some kind of grand finale. The show is over. But then the fire alarm came back on. But this time I think they were just testing it. And that came back on at 3:58 p.m. Okay? But it wasn't continuous. It was intermittent, and then it finally stopped. So there might have been some kind of intermission in this show. I know back in the day in Jamaica, when the movie theaters first came on the scene, we had to watch an intermission midway through the movie. Okay? So a lot of actors are involved here in this show, in this play, but it's the grand finale. And that's all the red stuff. I have some stuff here in black. And 21 minutes, I think I'm going to give it a shot and go for it. So somebody may need to give it a shot and go for it. Okay, I'm going to start at Jah will. Okay, this is Jah will, Most High God. Okay, Yahweh, Yahweh. So God's will, Yahweh. Okay, for someone here, this might be a separate message for someone else entirely. Okay, or it may not be. Whoever the message is for will know if it's for them. Do not try to force the message to fit your situation. Just listen if you are here. This is Jah's will for somebody. You're going to become the favorite. Okay? Wallet. Your wallet's going to increase. You're going to get an outpour of financial blessings here. I see orders here, so you might be a business person, an entrepreneur. Look forward to an increase in orders being made. All right, I know something about counseling came out last time, and the reason why I'm bringing it back up is because we have family and teens account. Okay, so you might be working with families. You might be some kind of guidance counselor for teens. All right, and this is how you're going to be making your money. We also have promotions, so you're going to be heavily promoted, maybe by word of mouth, by the family and teens you are working with, or I don't know. We also have help right underneath Jah's will, so that's the first thing. Okay, that's top priority, to help you or help someone. Next, we have rides. This tells me somebody might be coming into a brand new car, or is going to have like a chauffeur, be driven around. Okay, so that's giving me somebody of high value, high prestige, presidential. Okay, you're gonna get rides. Okay, maybe free rides wherever you go. You might be an Uber ambassador. You might get some kind of endorsement from Uber. Okay, but there's some free ride here, or somebody's been taking a free ride and that's coming to an end. Okay, that's also being channeled right now. Something about ride, but because it's under Jah's will, it's positive. Okay, well, destruction is also in Jah's will for those who do not obey his commandments. So take it however it would fit for you. Next, we have something about face ID. Okay, so somebody may have been caught on camera doing something. Okay, I have 4 p.m. That's when that was given to me. Okay, so the number 4 is there again. That might be relevant to somebody somewhere out there. Okay, we have you on camera, caught on candy camera. Is that a thing still, or was? All right, something about you're caught red-handed. Looking at all this red here, somebody's been caught red-handed. For someone else, again, back to the good news, you need to set up your business profile, okay, because you're going to get a lot of traffic. Okay, somebody needs to automate their business because you're going to be riding out. Okay, riding dirty, chameleon. You see me rolling. Is that chameleon? I think so. Okay, and something about camouflage came up before, like seahorse, chameleon. Okay, so you're riding dirty out here, possibly undercover, blending in, hiding in disguise, but you are rich. You're going to be a millionaire. Okay, but like I said, someone needs to put things on automation because you're going to be traveling. You travel for work, or you're going to be traveling for work. all your expenses are going to be covered here. Like every expense, including your meal. Okay. What else is in black? Oh, we have Omen. And that's in between grand finale and freedom. Okay. And freedom, that was actually a song channeled. That song is by Nicki Minaj. I don't have my phone here to pull up the lyrics, but one of my favorite songs of Nicki's, if I'm going to be honest. Somebody needs to listen to that, be encouraged, or somebody's about to come into freedom, okay, be given their freedom back, okay, or freedom's on the line here for someone, because we have grand finale, okay, and there's some kind of omen here. So somebody might be doing some kind of witchcraft, black magic against a person, okay. I am not, okay, I'm not going to say anything. You could draw your own inferences here, but I'm not trying to point any fingers again. So there's something about pointing fingers here, but that's just what's coming out. That was a channel song by Nicki Minaj, and that is Omen is in. I'll just show you. We have grand finale, Omen, freedom, Nicki Minaj. My eyes just also got to too late to apologize. That was written in red. So something, again, somebody crossed the line here, a line of no return. You can't go back, you can't backtrack. Okay, this is I don't want to say not pardonable, because I'm not God, okay? I don't want to say that this is, I don't want to say anything that's not here, that's not being channeled. So let me not, okay, try to add on to anything that is here, okay? So somebody cannot add on, and what I'm hearing is a explanation. What I'm hearing is an apology. It's just too late to apologize. That's by Timbaland and YouTube. Is he? I don't have my phone, so don't quote me on that. But Timbaland, I'm sure. So a producer might be involved in a situation here. But it's just too late to apologize. That was channeled to me at 3:50 p.m. Okay. What I'm thinking, just to share with you, is all these are my sons. And I'm going to go and get some bibs for them. I cannot make this up. I cannot. That's a fire alarm. And I cannot make this up. You heard that for yourself. This is a confirmation. You heard that alarm, and the testing, and the previous alarm that required the testing and the fire trucks to come on site has already. I know it's not close to 3:58 p.m. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this video because you hear it for yourself. What I was trying to say was, all these are my sons, and I'm looking at this quote. Give it a moment, I said to my son. Things are locked now, okay? And it stopped. And look, fire alarm stopped. That's what my eyes see right here, 3:53. I don't know what time it is exactly right now. Things are locked now. It's about to stop. Up in flames. They go. Okay, I'm hearing I'm gonna end it here. I'll come back if the Lord permits, if the Lord wills, because I have so much messages. So let me write completed here, put some kind of indication, because I need to know that there's no repeat. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to catch me on the next one. Take good care of yourself. And you know what I always say, I'll leave you with my love. Hopefully where you are is just as beautiful. And hopefully you're not being swarmed by bugs. Okay, I like ladybugs, but not when they're on the attack like this. It's like they have been incited. Okay, so all that might be relevant here. Again, red bra pushed up. Okay, so giving an illusion that something's bigger, or someone's bigger than they are. Something's bigger than they are. It's just someone's just being puffed up, propped up. It's standing out because it's red. Shouldn't be there. Okay, because somebody has a clean record. Okay, so maybe somebody's trying to stain somebody's record. This is channeling now, so I'm looking at all these ladybugs. Okay, so somebody's trying to stain somebody's clean record here. Okay, but it might end up in a bloody crime scene, and I hope that's not too explicit for YouTube's community standards. These are just my rantings. These are just my thoughts, views, opinions. Should not be taken seriously, but I can't lie to you, it should not be taken lightly either. All this red talk. It's hunting season, as I said before. Hounds are out and they're looking for blood, and perhaps somebody's fingerprint has been left on the scene that they're trying to cover up, but something's caught on camera. Just recapping here. Somebody's wearing a cap, which is also a cover, so somebody could be undercover. Again, something about New York undercover did come out. Okay, but the pile, it's gonna be a pile up, some kind of pile up of POS. So more than one person here, more than one body. Assess the damages. Yes, I body bees. Assess the damages. Some bees are going to be bodied. They're on a bloody path. They're POS. I don't know. Whatever comes to your mind if you were to walk and just see a pile of poop on your pathway. Who put it there? Who put it there? That's not kosher at all. You know, there's a place for that. I'm also hearing, if a bee ain't pooping, then get off the pot. There's lots of references to Nicki Minaj here. Okay, so, and it's a lot in red here. So ring the alarm. Ring the alarm. Someone's seeing red. Someone might end up I love you all. Bye-bye.